right. Well, welcome to Annapolis Christian Academy Schools of Logic and Rhetoric. I am the head of the Schools of Logic and Rhetoric here. So I just want to take a few minutes to give you a snapshot or an aerial of what the Schools of Logic and Rhetoric are like. The Schools of Logic and Rhetoric consist of grades 7 through 12 here at Annapolis Christian Academy. Grades 7 and 8 are Logic. Grades 9 through 12 are high school age students, are the Rhetoric level. We see that as being broken up developmentally for a reason and a purpose. With 7th and 8th grade in Logic, we really stress building on what the students have already learned in grammar, which is a lot of useful facts, knowledge that they've accrued over those years. When they come into Logic and Rhetoric, we expect them to just continue to expound on that knowledge and to become effective communicators of that knowledge, because we believe that knowledge is really useless without the ability to communicate it effectively. So we start honing that ability in 7th and 8th grade through debates, through Socratic questioning and dialogue, roundtable discussions. Our students really are gifted with the opportunity to dive in deeply, as opposed to just a superficial coverage of the material, of the curriculum. It's not just about taking a test and passing it. Its depth of understanding is what we're pursuing. So the capstone experience is a 18 to 20 page senior thesis paper where our students are given the opportunity to present that information to the staff, to their fellow classmates and students here at Annapolis. They do that very well. They often come back and tell us after the fact about how great the preparation is for college and beyond. Most of them don't do anything that challenging until they're in graduate school. So Annapolis really truly does prepare our students for life. Logic. So here in the School of Logic, a lot of our students are not in your typical classroom type environment where there's desks. We use the versatility of tables, lab tables, because we want the students in close community, close together, to be able to discuss things together, to be able to deliberate with their teachers, with their fellow classmates. So there's a lot of moving around. There's a lot of learning through experience or experiential learning. Again, like I said earlier, our focus is depth of understanding. The content, the curriculum we believe here is timeless. So we spend a lot of time in what we would call the great conversation, discussing great books of the past, focusing on primary source work, getting our students to be great researchers who actually enjoy doing the research that goes into projects, into their thesis papers. The students really have the opportunity to encourage one another through our house program. Building relationships with one another is vital and key. We have devotional time with our students that is teacher and staff led, but is also student led, so they can encourage one another as they have the time and opportunity here at school. So we really want to put first things first. We really want the students to understand that all learning is a gift from God. In the past, we try to avoid the chronological snobbery, as we would call it, that anything in the past is old and dead and outdated and not any good. We try to help them understand that it's not just what is modern that is beneficial for knowledge, for understanding, but there's so much that we can learn from the past, and we really bring that to life through classroom discussions and dialogue and debate. Well, we are now in our Rhetoric School facility, so just to kind of give a short, very brief explanation of the Rhetoric School, what you would see here when you walk in the school, when you walk in the facility, the students are always casually having conversation, a lot of encouragement from student to student, a lot of pats on the back. It's just a really tight-knit environment that we have here. Our Rhetoric students, whenever they complete 8th grade, they come over to 9th grade. The students just really feel loved. There's a great appreciation there from student to student, student to teacher, teacher to student. And as I mentioned earlier, the preparation that takes place here is pivotal. This, in my opinion, is the most important part of a classical Christian education. It doesn't end after grammar school. It definitely doesn't end after logic. In order for the complete package, it really takes the experience of the Rhetoric School. And the School of Rhetoric, again, begins in 9th grade, ends in 12th grade with the senior thesis. Mentioned earlier about preparation for life. Let's talk just a minute about what that means. It's more than just preparation for college. Yes, our students get into the top colleges, the colleges of their choice, their choosing. However, it goes beyond that. It goes beyond college. I think earlier I mentioned the rigors, the challenges that they do here. You would possibly see in like a graduate program. A lot of our students go on to the medical field and beyond. A lot of engineers, surprisingly, come out of a classical Christian school because they're taught how to think. Just their ability to go beyond, to transcend just a superficial understanding of something is invaluable. And a lot of companies are figuring this out, that our students are able to think deeply. And also, since technology is changing so rapidly, our students are able to reinvent continuously, which is also just amazing. So our graduates go beyond just a basic college prep type learning or experience. It's so much more than that. That's why we say it's preparation for all of life.